From my story to your story to our story, Ubuntu has connected us. We have come to revisit, to reimagine, and to rethink Ubuntu. To revisit Ubuntu, to rethink Ubuntu, and to reimagine Ubuntu is to recognize what is broken and what is wholesome about our sense of self and about our relationships with each other. Ubuntu is as much about the individual essence of being as it is about interconnectedness and interdependence. It is about repair. It is about restoration of community and of belonging. It is about a shared personhood. It says, I am because you are. A person is a person through other people. Ubuntu is not just a concept to be theorized in abstractions. It is an embodied way of life. But Ubuntu is not one way of life. It is many things, shaped by varied living experiences in different contexts. Neither is Ubuntu static. Rather, it evolves with time and place. We have come together this week to share stories and to listen to stories about what Ubuntu looks like where we come from. We are here to nurture a multi-generational, multidisciplinary, multi-sectoral, and multi-dimensional community. We are here to celebrate and to foster a shared commitment to Ubuntu, both as theory and as practice. Ubuntu has brought us together, and Ubuntu will keep us connected across distance and across difference. We have gathered here as part of a storied partnership between Michigan State University and Stellenbosch University. This partnership has been generously funded by the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. It comprises virtual student dialogues and seminar speaker exchanges. Over 100 students, scholars, and practitioners have participated in the dialogues and seminars since 2019. The project has offered much-needed opportunities for critical reflection, transformative dialogue, and mutual discovery across time and space. The dialogues and the seminars have not claimed to deliver conclusive answers or solutions to life's pressing challenges, but they have offered participants the space to revisit, to rethink, and to reimagine national, racial, ethnic, linguistic, religious, and other boundaries and differences. Ubuntu Dialogues has raised fundamental questions on the meaning and the place of Ubuntu, especially in the wake of recent popular movements for racial justice and for social justice. These include Roads Must Fall, Fees Must Fall, Black Lives Matter, and the Me Too movement. Each of these movements highlights and responds to the persistent and the widespread dehumanization and dispossession across the world and through time. Ubuntu Dialogues provided the space within which to make sense of our individual and our collective places in these struggles and debates. But then came the COVID-19 pandemic. Travel restrictions closed international borders. Social distancing regimes curtailed in-person gatherings. These disruptions challenged every one of us to revisit, to rethink, and to reimagine strategies and processes for everything from interpersonal to international engagement. We learned that both progress and success hinge on flexibility and adaptability. We adopted virtual alternatives for bringing together students, scholars, and practitioners. We continued to engage around Ubuntu through virtual dialogues and webinars. The transition to the virtual world came with a loss of the in-person interactions of the pre-COVID period. However, it opened participation beyond MSU and Stellenbosch University, beyond the US and South Africa, and beyond academic settings. That is why our gathering here comprises students, academics, administrators, and practitioners. We come from universities and cultural heritage institutions in North America, in Africa, and the Caribbean. Will the interactions this week deepen our sense of collective humanity? The initial partner countries in Ubuntu Dialogues are only two parts of the whole. South Africa and the US are two significant parts in revisiting, rethinking, and reimagining Ubuntu and dialogue. The two countries share a long and troubled history of institutionalized racism. They also share a long history of unrelenting struggle against subjugation and oppression. Ubuntu Dialogues has drawn creatively on a philosophical tradition and a moral ethic that is not limited to a single locality or a single moment in history. Ubuntu relies centrally on the notions of reciprocity, empathy, and connectedness. It is key to how each one of us understands, comes to terms with, and gives meaning to our realities and our experiences. Our time here this week is a moment in time, but it is part of a long journey. Did our conversations this week tend towards abstraction? Or are they anchored in the realities of our existence, in our communities, and on a shared planet? We are expressions of the past 3 years of virtual dialogues, seminars, and symposia. How do we build bridges that reach across the divides separating us? Our time together is an effort to enact and to embody Ubuntu. We are taking part in the process of co-constructing sites of substantive and sustained engagement. From East Lansing to Stellenbosch, back and forth, to and fro, through and through, Ubuntu has connected us. We see ourselves and each other, our cultures and our values, our visions and our aspirations through the lens of our shared humanity. The mode of engagement might be in person, or virtual, or hybrid. Ubuntu has invigorated us. It has celebrated us, and we celebrate it as we walk with our other persons. If Ubuntu grounds the stories we share, if Ubuntu guides the actions we take, and if Ubuntu informs the future we hope to create, where do we go from here? What possibilities exist for expanding the reach and the impact of Ubuntu dialogues through current and new collaborations? How do we generate and promote transcontinental commitments to ethical, reciprocal, and co-generative partnerships? How do we optimize intellectual outputs that advance critical consciousness in the generation and application of knowledge? How do we redirect the domains of ethics and philosophy to be more inclusive of STEM disciplines? What funding models hold promise for co-constructing sites of substantive and sustained dialogue at a global scale? These are some of the questions that prompt us to revisit and rethink Ubuntu as we reimagine the future we hope to create together. From my story to your story to our story, Ubuntu has connected us.